All right, we're live.
I'm Tracy.
And I'm Sean.
This is Shop Talk. Daryl deserted us again.
Yeah, he had some other business to attend to.
I think he just wanted to go party with those guys in that music studio.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Definitely.
They're probably kicking up a good time right about now.
Maybe I know how Daryl drives. And shit. Yeah, he's probably just now leaving his house.
Yeah, because they had to go back by there and everything. So
And he better not stay out too late because he's got a radio interview in the morning
yeah,
for his CD. So yeah. Hey, how about this Halloween bullshit? Let's see. We have some colleges that are now saying campus police will get involved and there could be punitive action the college takes academically for students who wear costumes that may be offensive to others. And they are encouraging you that if a costume offends you, to report it.
yeah. Well, they did this last year, but they didn't do the whole thing with encouraging.
Yeah, well,
basically inciting people to find something offensive.
One of the big ones last year was one sorority sisters or fraternity brothers. I don't remember which it was or which campus it was on, but they went as the three blind mice.
Yeah,
and they made national headlines because they were making fun of people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Three blind mice. Fairy tale, Mother Goose, fictional characters.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. People go out of their way to find things.
Hey, look, guys,
nowadays.
I already got my Halloween costume on. If you hadn't noticed, I'm going as a cripple.
See how many people you can offend with.
Yes. My daughter asked if she could borrow.
And then when they call you out on it, then become offended because they have offended you because.
My daughter asked me, Dad, can I take your wheelchair and go as a cripple this year? I don't care. You wouldn't be offended? No, I'm not going to offend me. I don't give a. Mike, you think in this modern society we would raise above being offended by bullshit?
No, we have risen above so that we can be offended.
More offended.
Yeah. We can find new things to be offended
And how about these local towns and cities that have banned clown costumes and have said the police?
Now, I'm all for that.
No, I'm not.
I'm all for that because if you're a clown and you come at me.
So someone in a werewolf costume is not going to get the same reaction.
No, I don't give a shit about werewolves.
Just
I ain't
pop
scared
them in
of
the
werewolves.
jaw, right?
I don't care.
Dracula, I'm carrying a wooden stake with me.
I
31st.
don't give a crap.
Well, I mean,
Clowns. I mean, this goes way beyond and before the clown.
yeah. We're talking about childhood trauma.
Yeah.
But seriously, they're going to stop and detain people in clown costume. First of all, what are they going to consider a clown costume? And why aren't you stopping and detaining everybody who has their face obscured?
It's like, what was that shit called? Stop and Frisk?
Yeah. New York City started that. God, I love New York, but I hate to admit I came from there. I did not come from New York City. The other end of the state, we got woods. So much shit started in New York.
Yeah.
Sullivan Act, gun control, handgun registration.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today.
Full registration in New York City now for all firearms. They've confiscated guns from law-abiding citizens in New York City. My goodness, if you're flying up to Quebec from Florida on a hunting trip, and God forbid your plane has to lay over in JFK, they're going to nail you for the rifle in the baggage compartment. They've done that to a few people. Let's see.
You would think with all the regulations and everything you have to go through just to transport that stuff these days, that there wouldn't be such an issue
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
When you had to fly through a,
I can understand if you got it on your person and you're walking through JFK Airport.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I'd like to see carry permits be allowed to walk through airports.
yeah.
But let's see what else. We're just bitching about the Birmingham Housing Authority.
Oh,
Who wants
yeah,
to make it
yeah.
illegal to own a gun if you live in one of their. Damn it, that started in New York too.
Yeah.
Andrew Cuomo was the first governor. Yep.
Now these buildings are like HUD housing.
Yeah,
type.
Section 8.
Well, Section 8 housing.
Yeah.
It's not HUD because
Section.
that's generally houses that those people. end up
It's
buying.
tied. It's tied to section. The
But it's
Birmingham.
the same sort of
Yeah.
thing because it's
Actually,
public housing that's in the same.
the Birmingham
category.
Housing Authority has control over your ghetto apartments, Section 8, and HUD housing.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what? These are
Well,
generally
most of the HUD
un-
housing, usually HUD tries to get people to, they
Buy
usually
them.
steer people
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
buying
Yeah.
so that they end
improper
up owning.
home ownership, pride. Yeah, I get all that.
But
here we are.
the apartments and stuff are subsidized.
Yeah, here we are. These people are probably some of the least educated, economically dependent.
Well, that's not even always the case. The
And-
education is not even always the case. A lot of times they're like displaced workers and then they
Yeah,
end
yeah.
up
Yeah,
in a bad situation and
I'm not saying it's not there for a
yeah,
reason, but my point
especially in
is
Birmingham where there was like a
Steel
huge
mills,
industry that's gone
steel
now.
mills that are gone.
And so a lot of
Yeah.
those people are,
But here it is, you're taking it, you're taking the rights away from the people who, one, need them the most.
yeah.
And
Yeah, they're
two-
basically saying that.
And two, are in the least,
Yeah,
they're the least able to fight against it.
yeah. And plus the fact that they're living in high crime areas. Because these areas are known for high
Oh,
crime.
yeah. Oh, yeah, they specifically named 2 or 3
And
housing.
yeah, and the people who are responsible for the high crime
Ain't giving up their
ain't
guns.
giving their guns up.
Yeah.
They still got them.
Yep.
But you can't protect yourself from them
And
if you live in those areas.
And God help the Birmingham Housing Authority if they take a convicted felon who's living in their housing authority that gets picked up for having an illegal gun on the weekend, if they kick him out.
Yeah,
That person, that convicted felon that ain't supposed to have the gun, is going to own that damn housing complex. Whereas the poor 76-year-old Korean vet who's done nothing but try his whole life is going to be kicked out of his house.
oh yeah,
Oh, and by the way, it ain't going to affect the crime rate. Anything, the crime rate's going to go up. We can see that with Chicago
oh yeah.
than any other
Yeah.
place. Yeah, so between the clowns and
They're all clowns.
Halloween costumes, and
They're all clowns. One
And-
way or the other, they're all clowns.
And I
Especially the politicians that
Yeah.
are responsible for this
politicians.
crap.
Yeah. And see,
And-
I just don't give a shit
And
anymore
all
about
the ones
politicians.
that,
I'm
and,
done.
and all the people that you guys talked to, was it last week that you guys were running around trying to
Oh, yeah,
talk to people about the
the
issue in
Birmingham
Birmingham?
issue, yeah.
And,
Dead ends.
yeah, the NAGR people was the only ones
Yeah,
that,
pretty much.
that even cared about it.
And I had to reach out
And
to,
those were the last ones that I expected to actually do anything because, you know,
to get anybody local, I had to actually reach out to a very great person who's done a lot in New York State Rifle and Pistol and NRA board member. Very, very proactive in New York, trying to get the SAFE Act for field and other things. I actually I ain't lived in New York in 7 years. And I actually number for me in Birmingham. Yeah, I had to go reach all the way to New York State from Alabama to get a number in Birmingham. That's just ridiculous.
Yep.
And politics, yeah, I'm done with politics. I just want to hibernate from now till November 9th and wake up and see whether or not I got to start shooting. Done. Now, on an interesting note, we had a couple foreign visitors here at the shop.
Oh,
today.
yeah. Yeah, I just missed them. Yeah.
We had a
Wish I
couple.
had gotten to see that.
We had a couple freelance journalists from Holland stop in, and their main reason, well, I don't know about main reason. I think they were trying to hit two issues with one
Yeah.
stop. What if Hillary wins? What's that going to mean? Well, yeah, it was what if Hillary wins? What's that going to mean for your industry and your shop and stuff like that? And it ended up turning into a conversation about innate human rights.
Yeah.
And gun control of history and things, and them being from Holland and living in Europe, they know what gun control is over there and all, and they sure haven't forgotten World War II history or how things happened there.
Yeah. Man, this thing over here is chewing on something.
Oh, that thing's chewing on something all the time. Just hit the kill switch. I don't even care if you shut it down properly. But yeah, and we took them. Daryl took them out back. They fired off the AK, the AR, and the Night
A
Scout.
Night Scout.
Yes.
Yeah, let me grab that thing real quick.
We gave them the firearm safe handling and stuff, and Daryl did all the loading and handing off and stuff. But yeah, this is the Night Scout.
I don't remember. There you go.
This is the HK lower on a US made upper.
Yep.
And this was one of their very early ones. And we prefer the early one. It's
Yeah, this one actually looks a little different than the later ones, or than the production.
Yeah.
Because this is a pre-production model. Isn't
Yeah,
it? Or is it early production?
it's pre-production, I believe.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why they changed it.
I don't either, because maybe it was too much like something else.
Maybe it was too robust.
Maybe it looked too awesome. I mean,
It takes Uzi mags.
the selector is a little bit
Yeah, that is the one issue with the gun, that if you put it on safe and you push it a little too far,
I mean,
will
it's easy to
get stuck.
but
yeah.
putting it on safe is difficult. I mean,
I don't never put my gun on safe anyways.
I mean, safe means it's in my hands.
Yeah, exactly.
That's safe.
Gun control means I'm in control of the gun.
But yeah, it's
a well-built firearm.
Yeah.
I mean, I really can't see why they changed. I know, I do know why they changed it. I mean, Daryl's not a fan of the sights.
yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of the sights really either, because it's just that little. It's just a V.
Well, and
cut in
that's just for the one. You turn
yeah,
it,
you
got
turn
your
it,
peeps.
and you got the peep sights.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, peep sights on a pistol.
yeah, I know, right? I mean,
but when you consider that was actually a full-size rifle taken down to pistol version, peep sight makes a lot of sense. That's about the only. I can live with the sights. I'm one of those guys that was taught with a pistol, you're only looking at the front sight anyways. Yes, the butt stock will go right on.
that's not what I was. I was trying to see if it would be viable to the cap here to, add a tube onto it to put a.
Arm brace?
Yeah.
Why? One pin and the buttstock goes right on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that would be an SBR.
And when I get to that point, I really am not caring about what laws I'm breaking.
I mean,
Um, That's just I see no reason to go out and get tax stamps or to use arm braces to get around.
I don't
certain
either, because
laws.
it's all ridiculous.
You
I
know,
mean, all that NFA stuff's ridiculous.
Oh,
It needs to be repealed.
It is,
But
it is.
that's a whole other
But
discussion.
then again, my whole point is, why go out and get the tax stamp if I really feel I need an SBR, a sawed-off shotgun? I'm not going to be too worried about the law. You know, obviously the criminals don't go out. I mean, we just had a cop get shot at with a full auto AK-47 while driving down the street one night. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a tax stamp. The guy who was doing the shooting.
Yeah.
So, and we can sit here and argue that laws never do anything but restrict the law-abiding person to begin with. Last week we showed a couple pistols,
Yeah.
or a pistol.
Yeah.
This one, look, empty.
Yep.
Nothing in the mag. This is the one I got bored with.
And this week we have the mostly unmodified version of that gun. You may recognize this one a little bit more than you did the other one.
Yeah,
This one.
we're gonna get a lot of, oh my God, really?
This
You're
one
showing
still
those
has the
pieces of
original
crap?
sights on it.
Well, this has the original rear sight still.
I thought you changed the, no, you
No,
sure didn't,
no,
did you?
same
I
rear
thought you had
sight.
changed the insert. I thought you had changed, but I guess you didn't.
No, yeah, I think this Bradley bead on the front was throwing them along with the 1911 lines and round.
Yeah, because it's
And
completely different.
someone
there.
said something about a Beretta look when you got down in here, if you just looked at this little area here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Jimenez.
Yep.
What, JA9.
Yeah. And it's had a lot more done to it than just the frame smoothing.
Yeah, you take a look at the ejection port.
Yeah.
Bump that out quite a bit. Changed the front sight, obviously. Did a little smooth and tune on the inner working, so the trigger's nice. Rounded the trigger.
Yeah, it's got a nice trigger on it
Feel
now.
the trigger itself versus.
Oh, you done some work to
factory.
that.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
did work to the actual
Yeah.
trigger. But
Well, Daryl likes that sharp ass trigger though.
Yeah.
You felt the trigger on that 1911, that Para.
yeah,
Man, that thing will cut you. As a matter of fact, it did cut
Yeah.
me when I was shooting it that day.
yeah. What else did I do? I defeated the mag dependency
Oh yeah.
just because I, in an emergency, like to be able to load one round at a time.
Now this one, Daryl did a little bit of stippling.
Yeah, I gotta have Daryl stipple my grips. I gotta
Not
admit,
bad for a first attempt, either.
no, they're a little coarser than I like. I don't want so
Yeah.
rough.
I like it to be fairly coarse like that. I like the
Yeah, Daryl
like
likes.
RTF
Yeah,
too.
Daryl
that,
likes that too.
That the Glock stuff that they got rid of.
Yeah.
I like
What's
that.
that one that I think we had a SIG in here that I grabbed the SIG and it's like grabbed and ground.
It probably was that
Chipped glass.
That 2022, I think.
Yeah, maybe. It was,
And-
it was, you grabbed it,
Yeah.
it's like, ow.
Yeah. The grip on my this is loaded, so the grip on this is pretty rough, but
Yeah.
it's got
It's
just,
it's not sharp rough.
it's just got panels though
Yeah.
that are rough.
kind of like Daryl did. He did it where he likes his hand to grab.
Yeah.
Anything else we can talk about?
No, we were gonna show that pink pistol.
We were
This
going to show
week.
the pink one. Okay.
Yeah, and
I know
something else
we were talking
gonna
about
talk about.
the 783 versus the
The Savage.
Savage.
Yeah. You grab.
We'll let
the,
Sean
witness.
grab that pink pistol.
Yeah.
It's a decent. I don't know. It's full frame to me. I mean,
I think it's a. Crap.
it's. Don't worry about the phone. It's after hours.
It sure is.
Oh, that's probably Lucky. Good, it's after hours. Hope he's not watching. Lucky, if you're watching, it's after hours. We're doing our internet show. You can call us back in the morning. But to me, that's a full size gun, especially when compared to this
Well, it's
JA9. Yeah. And that's,
It's probably a carry or compact, but not a.
subcompact. not
Yeah, it would
compact.
just be a carry model or a compact model. It,
Got a stack.
it's double action, single action. But,
It's comfortable
Yeah,
in the
it's-
hand.
it's
The controls.
decent size.
The controls are easily manipulated.
Got a safety on it.
I mean, the only thing the polymers seem to be going more toward plastic than polymer lately.
Yeah, this is
It sounds.
pretty
it looks-
plastic. I mean,
It looks plastic.
yeah, that's pretty plastic. I mean, it's pretty definitively plastic. That's,
Yeah.
that's, I mean, and
Yeah, I wouldn't run that over with your Humvee.
yeah, it's,
It's definitely not glossy.
there's not a lot to say about it. It's a witness.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It functions.
yeah,
Like I said, it's not heavy. I mean, I like the way it fits my hand.
yeah,
I mean, like I said, the controls, slide release is a little out the way for me, and I could use that mag release brought back a little.
yeah.
Those little individual things, I don't worry about unless it's really out there.
Yeah,
Oh boy, even that trigger's plastic.
yeah. Yeah, I don't really care for that either. I mean,
Yeah.
if it was metal like the full size one,
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't mind the
last
plastic.
week or week before, or I guess 2 weeks ago that we showed
The
3
Pavona.
weeks ago. Whatever, the show before the last
Yeah.
one. We showed the other one time
The
before.
Pavona, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And-
just this with,
But it's got a metal frame, doesn't it?
no,
It's plastic
yeah,
too?
it's just this.
Oh,
with-
I thought it was metal. I thought it had a metal frame.
With a fancier, metal flake body
Yeah,
and, a fancier case with a cleaning kit.
Yeah.
It's just got a few little niceties.
yeah,
I mean, they didn't even bother to put in a better trigger system, smooth out the trigger or anything.
I figured they would have at least done that.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean, I could probably live with this plastic if they had some kind of metal insert in it, molded around some kind of,
Yeah.
even two metal side panels or something.
or if it was done like the SIG, the 320s, where it's got
Yeah.
this whole little part in here that's the receiver.
Yeah,
And then you got this
case.
plastic
Case.
handle,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Or if it was more of a polymer like a Kel-Tec or
Yeah.
a Glock.
Yeah.
But-
Or most any other polymer
Yeah.
gun that's a polymer. That just feels like plastic though.
It feels
doesn't-
like it looks,
doesn't feel like
looks,
polymer.
looks like plastic, feels like plastic. Yeah, it's a space age plastic. I don't even know if it qualifies as a space age plastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking. Like,
That's more like your kid's Nerf gun plastic.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
It feels
it
like
does.
the plastic that a Nerf gun's made out of.
Yeah. We'll save the 783 and the Savage 110 comparison for when Daryl's here.
Okay.
Unless time it is. We this week was our first week closing on Mondays at the shop, and pretty much that just delays the Monday feeling till Tuesday.
It's not even
So-
6:30.
Oh my God. And today has lasted forever.
It's something else. Oh, we were going to show that that little short rifle.
Oh, the Ruger. Yeah, if you want to go, that's
Yeah.
that's a nice.
Because we kept them in suspense about that last week.
Mhm. Yeah, and I gotta admit, it's in 300 blackout. For an AR, if I want an AR platform to perform like an AK-47, I just break my AK out, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's all the 300 blackout does, perform like an AK round
You can get
or
an AR in a N7.6.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But
But,
they have
why,
feed issues.
but why would I give up an excellent working platform that was
Yeah,
designed
I know,
for that?
right?
This is a good application
This
for the
is a good
300
application for 300
blackout.
blackout. And it will do what it was intended to do, which is kill the shit out of a hog.
Yes,
Plus,
you can suppress it.
and it makes a great brush gun too.
Yeah, it's short.
I mean, it's short. It's easy to maneuver around in light woods.
Yep.
Uh,
It's a 30-30, but
It's got a
it's,
smooth action.
yeah, Accu-Trigger or Accu-style trigger.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I wish that they could have done to really impress me on this gun is the rail.
Yeah.
They could have machined the rail
And made
into the
it-
receiver
Yeah.
instead of,
Instead of being a
Screwing one
screw.
on.
But it's fine this way. I
well,
mean,
no, the machining looks good. It's held down with 3 or 4? Four
It's
good.
got 4 good screws in the
Yeah.
top. Yeah.
The only other thing I don't like of the rail is how wide the slots are. Looks like not their spacing, but the width of the slot where you're, yeah,
Yeah, they do look a little.
that looks like it
wide,
would
don't they?
be a little sloppy depending on what scope rings you use.
Yeah. I guess as long as you got it, as long as you got good rings on there, it's not really going to make that much. Once you get it in position
and
and
you
everything.
slide, and when you do it, slide everything forward.
Now, if you're taking it off and putting it back on,
Yeah,
you're going to have a little more
have
slop
some
in it then.
problems there, yeah.
But yeah, it also looks like it's a little bit.
Yeah, it's
The
a
stock is a little
look.
bit.
They're going to call it a synthetic stock. I'm going to call it a plastic stock.
Yeah. Well, I would probably replace the stock anyway, just because
It's a comfortable stock, though.
it is. It really, really is.
I mean,
That length of pull is perfect.
yeah. I mean, we went over that. We were like, oh, geez.
I hadn't even held it up, but
And-
yeah, that's perfect length of pull for me. right there.
Unlike most companies who would just thread the end of the barrel, Ruger actually flared
Yeah,
the end of the
can't
barrel
see it
and then
here,
threaded.
but it actually is flared right there at the end. It flares out where they've got the threads.
and we're not
I thought
talking.
the thread cap was loose, but
It might
it's
have been.
tight. It may have been. Daryl may have tightened it
Yeah.
up or something.
And we're not talking just a teeny flare. We're talking probably overall an 1/8 inch or better compared.
Probably is. I mean, it's got a good
To,
flare. on
they
the end
flared
there.
it the thread depth plus a little.
Yeah, so that it gives you
You
a
get
good bit of meat on the
Yeah.
end to. Yeah, it's gonna hold. It's gonna hold up. I mean,
I mean, looking at that rifle, you know,
Plus-
I would say the barrel's not even legal, but it is.
Detachable
Oh, yeah,
magazine.
detachable mag.
Oh, yeah, just to look at it, it looks like it's not, but then
Barrel
when
looks
you,
like it's about 14 inches.
yeah, but then when you
consider-
look how far
Yeah.
it's inset,
Yeah,
that barrel comes back in.
yeah, another 3
Yeah,
inches.
it screws into the receiver.
A good 2-3 inches.
Yeah,
Yeah, because when the gun came in, I looked at it, I was like, man, that barrel can't be barely legal. But it is, it's full 16 inches measured through the bore to
Yeah.
the bolt face.
But yeah, that action is.
Yeah, that was surprising too, how smooth the action was on, check the trigger out.
Yeah, it's. Yeah,
I mean, it's right there. I mean, thumb safety, your safety is very easy for left or
Yep.
righty. I mean, it's a pretty well thought out.
yeah, I actually like the Tang safety.
Yeah, I do too.
A lot of people don't like Tang safeties, but I like the Tang safety.
Yeah, I like it where I can, if I'm gonna use the safety, I like it where it's easy to get to and it's
Yeah,
positive.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah, I mean, a brush deer, hog,
yeah,
for on your horse, on your four-wheeler, truck gun, that is a
that'd be
great little-
truck gun.
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically what it's for. It's a ranch rifle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, meant to be thrown
and I think the
in
300
thrown in a
blackout,
truck, on an ATV,
I think the,
a saddle holster.
yeah, your
you know,
bow,
whatever, yeah.
I think the 300 blackout is an excellent choice for that
Yeah,
type rifle too. I mean,
if
now,
Now, if the price would come down on it a little bit, that's the thing. Which really,
Yeah.
right now, it's not really that bad. It's only bad if you compare it to 5.56 or 7.62 by 30.
Yeah.
It's not that bad if you compare it to 30-30.
oh, yeah,
Or, something else.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much in line with those calibers.
yeah, it is, as far as the price of the ammo. The biggest thing is, how long is 300 blackout going to remain? Is it going to catch on enough to become prominent enough and stick around, or is it going to turn into one of those seasonal ammos? They
I
produce,
think it will catch on if more companies do that.
yeah,
If a few more companies do that, because that right there is what, that's basically what we've been waiting for.
yeah,
Is for those rifles to come out.
yeah. If I was
Because
in,
when Ruger announced that they were making those, people were like, where are they at?
yeah,
Let's see them.
yeah. If I was still in business in New York, most of New York was shotgun only, went to rifle. Everybody got out their old 30-06 and stuff, and found out that when you used to shotgun hunting,
Yeah.
you're a lot closer ranges. Plus New
Yeah.
York, we got woods and a lot of brush. They got their rifles out there. One, the rifles were long.
Yeah.
Two, you shoot a deer that's only 25 to 30 yards away with a 30-06. That thing, I don't care what bullet you're using, it's moving so fast, you're just putting a 30 caliber hole through the deer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 'Cause-
It's not opening up or shocking or
Yeah.
anything. And a lot of guys complained, that would be a rifle. And I told them, go to a 30-30 or something, or go back to your shotgun. But that is a rifle I'd recommend for deer hunting in most of New York.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, around here, that would be perfect.
Around here, yeah, that'd be
Because,
great for deer
I
hunting.
mean, really,
It's
there's no
thick-
reason
it's
to
thick.
use the big calibers that people use
Yeah,
around here.
300,
I
300
can
Win
see
mag.
using them in places, I mean,
If you're on
people
a power
in
line
Texas,
right or
they
power line
give me
right
crap
away.
all the time when I tell them they don't need something that
Yeah.
big, because here, you're not shooting at great distances.
Yeah.
Out there,
And in
up
Texas,
north,
the deer probably got 50 pounds
Yeah.
on the deer here too.
yeah, in some places, they have the range, because they're taking, 200, 300-yard shots. If you get a 200-yard shot on a deer here, you're doing
You're
something.
hunting a peanut field, a cotton field.
And a lot of times,
And
you're not even getting as far as you think you
Yeah.
are anyway, because when you walk it
Yeah.
300 yards or 250 yards or or whatever
Yeah,
you
most people
exaggerated
have,
it to be.
most people have no idea what a 300-yard shot really
Well,
is.
You think about the terraces across those fields
Yeah.
here, you probably cut off, say 20 yards
Mhm.
off of a 200-yard.
Oh, more than
Because
that.
that bullet ain't traveling over them terraces.
No, it's not following the contour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the size of the terraces around here, you are cutting probably a total of 20
You could
yards
be
off
cutting,
of
you
a
could be cutting just
200-yard
from one
shot.
to the other, you're cutting 50 yards off the actual walk distance.
Yeah.
And yeah, I pasted off, it was so far.
Yeah, it's 200 yards, but
Following
it
the
was really only like
contour.
160.
Yeah, a straight line, you shot 150 to 125 yards.
Yeah.
You know, New York State, I used to love it. I'd be up at our 100-yard rifle range at the club every now and again. And I used to leave the gate open, so if anybody drove by and was looking to be interested, they'd come up.
Yeah.
And, oh, wow, what, you got 500-yard range here? We had a 100-yard range, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know, and guys couldn't go, oh, that's not 100. Yeah, it is 100 yards. No. I shoot deer at 100 yards. That's a lot further than 100 yards.
You get out your measuring stick and realize that this is not 9 inches.
Yeah. You gotta stop lying to your wife now. I used to have a fishing knife, bait knife,
Yeah.
whatever you want to, and it had a ruler on each side.
Yeah.
One was the honest fisherman.
Oh, and the other one.
The other was the dishonest fisherman. The one side was in inches, the other side was in centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, for you guys that have been lying to your wife and telling her this is 6 inches, yeah. You're the same ones that are missing those deer at 100 yards.
Yeah. I mean, really, the average shot around here would probably be 75 yards, maybe.
You think it's that much? I'm just wondering. I've been in the woods down here, and
I don't know. I'm
it's-
thinking like unless you're hunting down the fire lanes, like down the power lines,
Yeah.
you know, where you get, you know, those big lanes,
I could see if you
where the power
catch
lines
catch a deer coming through
and
some
you know,
of
you
the
get a 200 or 300 yard shot there.
well,
easy.
same thing in the pine plantations. If you catch one that's been burnt out that year for the
Yeah.
undergrowth, but
But
honestly,
most people don't shoot down those lanes though, because if you get, you know, over 100 yards or so, you're probably going to be shooting at another shooting house. So, you know, people
Yeah.
put shooting houses up and down
Yeah.
those things. So you can't really shoot straight up and down.
yeah.
So you kind of, you know, you can shoot kind of angles, and usually you're not going to shoot more than 75 yards or so.
I know in New York State, I was a hunter ed instructor for years, worked with the Department of Environmental Conservation and everything. And, the average shot for a deer in New York State is around 30 yards.
Yeah.
And that's even when you average in the areas that were always allowed to use rifle.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, some of the woods I've been in down here, I don't see how you get more than 30 yards in some places.
Now, that is true. There's a lot of places where you don't get that far. I don't know what the actual average would be. I'm going on that by, you know, the fields and stuff where
Yeah.
you actually do get, you know, a good maybe 100, 125 yards, maybe a little further than that. But then you get into the wooded areas where you got maybe, you know, 30, 40 yards. You're going to
Yeah.
be shooting at the same distance you would be with a bow.
Yeah.
And you average them
And
out.
I think that's
you know,
how-
you might end up 75 yards average
Yeah, well,
between the
even
the
with
two.
those longer shots averaged out in New York, I mean, we got some pretty big hay fields, corn
Yeah.
fields, bean fields.
Yeah,
We got power line, gas line right away,
Yeah.
just like y'all do.
yeah,
We have some areas of the state that's fairly flat, some that's just rolling, and then others that in certain small areas, you need to be a damn mountain goat. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
yeah.
The glaciers cut some of that up pretty damn good. But yeah, 30 yards for New York State was the average. Now that they opened up rifle hunting all over the state, I imagine it might have bumped it out there a little bit. I know farm fields that were starting to be reclaimed naturally
Yeah.
that I used to hunt around. There were a couple spots where you could get a 50-yard, 60-yard shot. My personal longest shot, if I'd have known it was that long, I probably wouldn't have taken the shot, ended up being 80 yards
Yeah.
with a 12 gauge.
Oh, God.
Yeah, slug.
That's pushing.
Smooth bore slug gun.
That's pushing the.
Yeah, that's why I said if I'd have known it was 80 yards, I probably wouldn't have taken
Yeah.
the shot. I actually underestimated it. I figured it was 60 at the most.
Yeah.
But yeah, and some of the guys went up and after I shot it and looked and said it was even over 80. I don't. 12 gauge drops over 10 inches at 100 yards. There's no way it could have been over 80 because I hit low as it was. That's why I know it was about 80 because I hit about 6-7 inches low where I was aiming.
Yeah.
And if it would have been 100, I definitely should have missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, hunting season is upon us here.
Yeah.
Birds, small, well, as I say, Alabama's kind of like most states. There's something in season year round,
Yeah.
but
Well-
traditional
We have like coyote and hog that never go out of season. So.
crow,
Oh yeah, crow as well.
coyote, hog. I have to check. You might be able to hunt possum year round. I don't
I
know.
think so.
Armadillos
I'm not
are
sure.
probably open year round.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because we didn't have to have a tag for
Yeah.
them or anything. We
Yeah.
used to, me and a buddy of mine.
Do you have
used to-
anything like red squirrel? I've seen chipmunks. I've seen fox
Oh.
squirrel and gray squirrel. I can't say I've seen.
I'm not
anything
sure
else.
about chipmunk, if there's a season for them here. I know we have them,
Yeah, New York.
but I don't know if they're,
New York State, there's no season for chipmunk. Red squirrel, which is
you know, we
in
have
between a
gray
chipmunk and a
squirrel.
gray
We
squirrel.
have gray squirrel, cat squirrel, fox squirrel. I don't know if we have any
Cat
red
squirrel, I
squirrel.
don't know if I've seen yet. But we got marmot or groundhog or woodchuck,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, that there's no season on. And then things like porcupine. We don't have armadillos.
Yeah.
Personally, I can't see hunting a porcupine. That's one of those animals
Yeah.
that if you're in the woods and you need food, you can walk up and hit it with a stick. No,
Well-
they're not that fast of a mover. There's only, I think there's only one predator.
The only reason I've ever hunted armadillo was as a nuisance.
Nuisance, yeah.
Yeah, because me and a buddy of mine, we used to work for a guy that had a bunch of farmland, and we used to hunt nuisance animals on his land.
They could tear up
And
a crop if there's
yeah,
grubs and stuff in
and
that.
really, it
ground.
was just an excuse to go
Shoot.
out and shoot a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. But see, that's what we use. That's what a lot of people use the woodchucks for up in New York.
Yeah,
If you got a hay field or cornfield or something, first of all, when they burrow, they leave a mound.
yeah.
So when you come through, with the
Oh, yeah,
corn cut-
it was a mess
You
out
come through
there.
with
I
the
mean,
corn cutter, you're cutting rocks and
Yeah,
stuff out the
you go out
mound,
there across that field, and there'd be
or you drop one of the tires of the cutter in it. Next thing you know, you're scalping all kinds of junk.
It'd be armadillos would have just torn it up
Yeah.
out there. And, some of the areas out, where he had deer coming out there and eating the tops out of stuff just as it's coming up.
And if you
You know,
got
deer will eat anything once, it's
Yeah.
about this tall.
yeah, they don't care.
Apparently it tastes real good because they'll just eat
Yeah.
every bit of it.
And if you got cattle,
Like even cotton.
oh yeah, I know
the
that
plants are
amazed
just
that
that big.
amazed me that deer would eat
They-
cotton plants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's real
tender and
yeah,
fresh
young and
shoots, yeah.
tender. They just eat the shoots of almost anything.
Yeah.
And so.
But the
we used
woodchuck
to-
too. If you have dairy cows,
Yeah,
cow gets out there, woodchuck hole, breaks its leg.
yeah,
Or if you horses weren't as popular. They are down here, but
Yeah.
trust me, if you had woodchucks and you had horses, you were shooting the hell out of a woodchuck.
oh, yeah,
Personally, the woodchuck doesn't taste bad, but you gotta know when to hunt.
yeah,
You do it in the spring when they
Yeah.
first start coming out their burrows because their fat's gone
yeah,
and their muscle is laid dormant all year, so it's not as tough.
yeah,
And you get the young ones. I know there's someone out there saying, oh, he shoots. Yes, I shoot the babies while they are still nursing even, because they'll come out of the hole and wander around. You know, they're not much bigger than a bunny rabbit. It tastes good at that size.
Yeah.
You get the old friggin' 12, 15 pounder that's been, that you've missed.
Every
And
year.
educated, and you've been chasing him for 5 years, you
Yeah.
know, because he's just tearing up your pond berm or trying to
Yeah.
live someplace you don't want him. And he's gotten smart because you've missed. So, I mean, I had one literally, if you walked past a window in the house,
Yeah.
it would scoot.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I couldn't even open the window and shoot out the window to get this sucker. I actually finally got him harassed enough that he decided to move across the street.
Yeah.
He'd come over and eat in my yard, but he
Yeah.
lived across, as long as he lived across the street, I was cool with it. Oh. But yeah, so I mean, what, bird, dove is Dove open yet?
I think dove came in. Dove's a weird one because
It's a migratory.
It's got a spotted season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like, I think,
pretty sure your partridge or quail are in right
yeah,
now.
I think so. I
Bow
don't
season.
remember. I'd have to look because also the counties are different.
Yeah, bow season for deer is open.
Yeah, yeah, it just opened up. And gun season will be opening up here in a couple of weeks, won't it? First part of November, I think.
I don't know. I've lived here for 6 years. I have yet
Well,
to
they
go.
change it every year, just about. They'll move it by a few days, or from 1 week to
Yeah,
another.
see, New York's opening for gun season for deer and bow season for deer are set. They're like, well, it used to be set. They
Yeah.
still use the same general rule, but now it opens on Saturdays.
Yeah,
It used to be like deer was like the third Monday of November or the second Monday of November,
yeah,
and that's how they always go.
Yeah.
And, your week shifts a little. So the
Yeah.
first week of November, you might not have a Monday. So we'd have a late deer season.
yeah.
Or if the first of November was Monday, you'd have an early deer season. And yours might be the same way. That's why you get that shift.
Yeah, we got by region. You
Yeah.
have to get a hold of one of
New
those
York,
books
New
and-
York State does that
So
too.
like certain counties
Yeah.
are on this schedule and others are on this one. And then you've got like the migratory birds have like split seasons.
Yeah,
Turkey has a split season because you got a
Spring
fall
and
season
fall.
and a spring
Yeah.
season.
that New York does the spring
And I
and
usually
fall.
don't even bother with the fall season. And I don't even know if I'm gonna bother at all this year because
Now,
last year I got to go a couple of times and man, it was like $60-something for
that's an
from all my
expensive turkey
licenses.
tag. Yeah,
well, see, that was for all of it though. That was for
well, that's not too bad.
that was for all of it. But I didn't get to go but like once or twice.
Yeah. Now, see, New York State had the spring and fall turkey, and I preferred fall turkey
Yeah, I prefer
because you
spring
bust up a flock. You can call them back together easy to flock up.
Yeah.
Plus, don't get me wrong. Yes, you get a big old weary Tom with a big beard, big
Yeah.
spurs, been around for 4 or 5 hunting seasons. Yeah, that is a challenge and a half. Turkey's probably one of the hardest ones there is to hunt.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
But-
it's because you basically got to have a headshot.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
otherwise,
yeah, you're
'cause
shooting
if you
into
body
body
shoot
armor.
him,
You're
he's-
shooting body armor.
well, that and the fact that a bird, I don't know if anybody's
Its
ever
heart's
shot
only
a bird,
this big. Its lungs ain't much bigger.
but unless you hit those,
Yeah.
then I mean, and they're way down inside.
Well, like
all
I
that
said,
other-
and the turkey's like shooting at an armored bird.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, you got all those feathers,
yeah,
and then you got this much muscle.
breast
to
meat.
go
Yeah,
through.
unless you got a back shot,
Yeah,
and even a back shot, you still got all those
Yeah.
feathers. And pellets don't like feathers. But
but
I always
if-
preferred the
if you're
fall.
a body shot a bird, you know that they'll
22.
keep going forever
22.
after they've been shot. I mean,
Yeah, even with the 22, you don't get them good. They're
Yeah.
going. But I like the fall because, like I said, I'm all for it. But in the fall, we can take hens
yeah,
and non-bearded.
yeah.
See, in the spring, we can only
Sure,
take
if
a
we can
bearded.
take them at all. I don't remember.
Well, basically, in New York State, you
I
don't
think
have,
can only take
you got
one.
bearded and non-bearded.
Yeah,
And in this fall, you can hunt non-bearded, which is typically your hens or that year's jakes.
yeah,
And you want to talk about some good eating? You get a 6 to 8 month old turkey.
oh, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're stupider, and it's easier to get them, and you only get half the weight, but
Yeah.
it's a lot better eating than that old grizzly Tom.
Mhm. It's like shooting a yearling deer.
Yeah.
I mean, a yearling is,
Well, see down
tender.
down here
And-
is weird. In New York State, almost all our deer are born around May.
Yeah,
Here, quite literally, a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
I saw a fawn and it was well spotted.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure you got laws
oh,
down here. You're not-
into the season, you'll still
Oh,
see.
I've seen them in
spotted.
November and
I mean,
December. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm sure down here you got laws like we do in New York. A spotted
Oh, you
deer
can't
is
take a
you
spotted,
don't touch
yeah.
it. And I have shot bow season in New York starts generally around October 15th.
yeah,
And now I have shot in the early morning a couple. And first of all, I know if it's a square, it's a young deer. If it's a rectangle, it's an adult. It's an older adult deer. And I've shot a few square deer.
yeah,
I knew it was a young deer.
yeah.
And quite literally, I get up to go to field dress, and it's like, oh shit! And from one direction, you can still see spots.
Yeah,
But because they weren't prominent at any kind of a distance and from all directions, it's a legal kill. But it's like, oh man, if I'd known it was this young, I probably would have passed on the shot.
yeah.
But yeah, you want to talk about tender, but don't get but a half a grocery bag of meat off of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, even a yearling deer that's just like, got, antlers like
Oh yeah,
that,
spikes,
just
yeah.
spikes.
Spike
Well,
or-
even if
or button butt.
even if they're
Button.
forked and technically
Yeah.
you got 4 points on.
Yeah,
them or
let's see, New
whatever.
York, they don't care how
Yeah.
many points there are. It's got to be over there. They got to be 3 inches
Well,
long or
it's,
longer.
well, it's got to be long enough. I can't remember what
1
the
inch.
system's called.
1 inch, yeah.
Boone and
Crockett,
Crockett.
1 inch.
Yeah, well, you got to be able to hang a ring on
Mm.
it, and the ring is probably a little thicker than my wedding band. So there's actually a ring that you
Yeah.
use to measure it with when you're, if you're like having that trophy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for it to count as a point
Yeah.
for points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
New York State.
yeah. So if you're measuring it for a scoring system,
Yeah.
then they use those little bands to do it with, and they look like a
Yeah.
wedding ring basically. It's just
Yeah.
a thick ring, and it's got to be,
It's got to fit it.
it's got to fit
Or
over.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
In New York State, 3 inches.
yeah,
Spikes have to be at least 3 inches for it to count as a buck.
yeah,
If it's under 3 inches, you can put it on a doe tag because we have buck and doe tags.
yeah,
But if you don't have a doe tag and they're under 3 inches, you better hope you don't go through a deer check station.
yeah. So we don't technically have tags down
Yeah.
here. We have your
You're allowed so many.
You're
Antlered
allowed, yeah,
deer.
your tag is for,
How
it
many?
changes by the season.
How many ever deer they say you can take
Yeah,
in that season in that
Yeah.
area?
yeah,
Antlered.
there have been years before where they've been like where you can take one buck and one doe. Whereas when I first started hunting when I was a kid, it was like one buck per day was what it was.
Yeah.
And then you had
Doe
a few
days.
days where
Doe
you could hunt
days.
doe, And then some years later on, we had such a huge population,
Shoot anything.
kind of.
Yeah,
But they had different things where they opened it up
different
to
areas.
more stuff in,
Yeah.
in certain areas where you could like take one of each on these days or whatever. But they change it from year to year.
Yeah,
So
to
you
keep the
just have to-
population
You
under
just have to
control.
keep up with
Yeah,
it, which when you go get your license,
they tell you.
almost anywhere you get them at, they'll give you that little book.
Yep.
It
Actually,
tells you
they're
all that
supposed, they're
crap in
supposed to
there.
give you that little book. If they ain't got that little book, and I know in New York State, they can get in trouble.
Yeah,
If you saw a license in New York State, you better have the little books.
yeah. But yeah, they'll offer you that little book
Yeah.
when you.
I always took it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
so-
I have to, because if you don't, you don't.
Yeah,
you
well,
don't know,
down,
because they change.
yeah,
so much
down
stuff
here, New
every year.
York State didn't change as much.
Yeah.
You might have a change in one region
Yeah,
or a change in one type of hunting,
yeah,
but not, they stayed pretty much the same, but still, if you went out in the woods and you did something wrong and it was in the book, and
Yeah.
it was a change for your area and you didn't know it,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, 3 inches, matter of fact, one of the gags at hunting camp. We take rulers and cut them off at 3 inches, little schoolyard, 12-inch
Oh, yeah.
rulers or yardsticks, cut them up in 3 inches. And the new guy, we give him the ruler and a can of spray paint.
Yeah.
And they go, "What's this for?" "Your job is to go out tonight and measure all the deer and mark them." But the basic rule we used as hunters,
Yeah,
as long as you could see them above their ears,
yeah,
it was legal.
yeah.
Because a deer's ears are any place from 4 to 6 inches long. So if it was above the ears, it was. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there are some areas where it has to be a 4-point or better, or,
Yeah.
and that I
Well,
don't
those,
think.
those rules are stupid.
Well,
because
they
those-
are, because
those
what
don't
they're
really have anything to do with.
No.
Because last year's 8-point could be this year's spike,
Mm-hmm.
because
It has to do with
a
nutrition.
lot of people argue with that.
No, it has to do with
but no, it has to
nutrition.
do with what they're eating,
Yep.
how their population is,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah, you
any
can.
number of things.
Well, it's
can go into
they
that.
they've already proven it. You watch a buck through its life cycle. If the nutrient content and the content of its food doesn't change much,
Yeah,
as they age,
yeah,
their rack will max out and could be maxed out for a couple of years, but then it will start to decline.
yeah,
No different than us. We get old, guess what? We start losing our teeth. Deer
Yeah.
get old and their teeth get worn down or lost. They can't eat as well.
yeah,
And you get a decline in their body. And
yeah.
Oh, well, we're tired. Yeah, Daryl's not here to spur when we have our, what are we gonna do next moment?
Yeah.
Hey, we're like 5 minutes to 7. So next week, we'll have that 783 Remington versus the 110.
Yeah, we'll show
Yeah,
how much
How-
exactly a freaking copy that is.
yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll call Savage up and say, "Hey,
And I don't know, maybe we'll have a few more things.
I'm
not
sure
what
we can
else.
come up with something. We will
Yeah.
be right on top of the election, man. I'm sure I'm sick of it now. I'm sure
Yeah.
I'll be well sick of it. Like I said, I'm already done. Wake
Yeah.
me up when it's over, please.
I know, it's just,
And I
I
still,
expect to wake up any day now and there'd be 2 completely different candidates running.
I still ain't figured out anything on foreign policy, economic policy.
The only
business
thing I
policy,
figured
trade
out
policy.
is you're rubber and I'm glue. That's about the only thing that I've gotten out of this election is it's like watching 2 middle schoolers running for class president.
Yeah, at least. I've seen some I've seen some that are a lot better than. Actually, when I was in high school, class president, there were a few years that a couple of them actually had some substance.
Yeah,
Now whether or not they followed up on it, yeah. I mean, it would be nice if they had something
Yeah.
besides, oh, I'm gonna cut taxes, oh, I'm gonna give this group a 35% tax cut. Okay, well, if you're giving this group a cut, you're either cutting spending a hell of a lot, or
Well, I haven't heard a whole lot
or
of that.
someone-
Mostly what I've heard is, you're a mean lady. Will you say bad words?
Yeah, you're a chauvinist. Yeah.
Well, you're a criminal.
In today's society, the criminal's not as bad as the chauvinist,
Actions.
which is another sad
That's
benchmark. on
killing of our
Yeah,
society.
another sad benchmark we have reached. Beyond that, I'm Tracy.
And I'm Sean.
This was Shop Talk. Thank you. Keep the powder dry.